नाउ करियर अच्छा सबको चाहिए, बट अच्छे करियर के लिए जो वे है, द वे वी चूज फॉर द राइट करियर एंड द फास्ट पेस करियर और द राइट करियर ग्रोथ इज समथिंग दैट नीड्स टू बी रिकंसिडर्ड. Okay, very good afternoon everybody and welcome to this session on how to identify your passion and make it your profession, right? I am so excited to welcome you all on behalf of Buddy for Study to this amazing session, and I promise that you will get 100% value out of it. जो भी स्टूडेंट यहाँ पे, चाहे आप स्कूल स्टूडेंट हो चाहे आप कॉलेज स्टूडेंट हो, आप में से जो भी इस सेशन को अटेंड कर रहा है, आप सबको अमेजिंग वैल्यू मिलने वाली है. जस्ट बी विद मी फॉर द नेक्स्ट 40-45 मिनट्स एंड यू विल रियलाइज कि ये सेशन आप लोगों के लिए इतना जरूरी क्यों था, और बाकी लोगों के कंपैरिजन में जो आज सेशन में समहाउ नहीं आ पाए या कुछ और जो उन्होंने चूज किया, उनके कंपैरिजन में आपको कितना ज्यादा गेन होने वाला है. राइट, सो आई वेलकम हिमांशु, जसप्रीत, मानसी, प्रिया, रवि, साई किरण, शांतनु, सूरज, श्वेता, एवरीबॉडी, एंड आई एम सो एक्साइटेड टू हैव यू ऑल हियर. हमने हमेशा जो अपने करियर डिसीजंस लिए हैं, चाहे वो स्कूल में सब्जेक्ट्स हो क्लास 9-10 के बाद, या 12th के बाद कोर्सेज हो, या अगर आप में से कोई कॉलेज ग्रेजुएट भी है, तो आपने जो भी डिसीजंस लिए हैं वो मेजरली 2-3 चीजों पे डिपेंड किया होगा. सबसे पहले तो शायद आपके मार्क्स पे डिपेंड किया होगा कि भाई आपके कितने मार्क्स आए हैं, उसके बेसिस पे आपने साइंस या कॉमर्स या आर्ट्स या बायोलॉजी लिया होगा, या जो सोसाइटी ने हमें समझाया कि ये वाला कोर्स आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा है, या अगर आपके इतने मार्क्स आते हैं तो आपको ये वाला कॉलेज मिलना चाहिए, अगर आपके इतने मार्क्स आते हैं तो आपको ये वाला कोर्स करना चाहिए. इन एजम्पशंस के बेसिस पे हमने अपने करियर डिसीजंस लिए. मैंने भी लिए हैं, मेरे सारे फ्रेंड्स ने लिए हैं, आप लोग भी शायद वैसे ही ले रहे हो. बट चूंकि अभी काफी सारे प्रोफेशनल्स ओपनली ये बोल रहे हैं कि आपको अपना पैशन आइडेंटिफाई करना भी उतना ही जरूरी है जब आप अपने करियर में आगे बढ़ते हैं, तो इससे ये प्रूफ तो जरूर हो जाता है कि हम जिस तरीके से करियर डिसीजंस ले रहे हैं वो शायद एक फुल प्रूफ फॉर्मूला नहीं है, या वो शायद सबसे इफेक्टिव रास्ता नहीं है. शायद उस एज में हम नहीं समझ पाते जब हम वो डिसीजन लेते हैं, बट लेटर रियलाइज करते हैं. और इसलिए जो लोग ऑलरेडी उस फेज में हैं, जब वो रियलाइज कर पा रहे हैं कि यार शायद मुझे थोड़ा जल्दी अपना पैशन एक्सप्लोर करने मिल जाता, तो शायद मैं आज बेटर सिचुएशन में होता. राइट, तो उनसे सीखते हुए चलिए ये समझते हैं कि अपना पैशन कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करना है, और जब आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया तो उसको परस्यू कैसे करना है. राइट, इसके पहले कि हम आगे बढ़े सेशन के साथ, कुछ रूल्स हैं. जो लोग रिपीटेडली अटेंड कर रहे हैं, पहले अटेंड कर चुके हैं, उन्हें रूल्स पता होंगे, बट आई विल रिपीट फॉर द सेक ऑफ अदर्स. देयर आर सम रूल फॉर दिस ऑनलाइन सेशन. रूल इसलिए बनाए गए हैं ताकि आपका मैक्सिमम फायदा हो. सबसे पहला रूल ये है कि यहाँ पे जो सिर्फ टाइम इन्वेस्ट करने आया है उसे बहुत ज्यादा फायदा नहीं होगा. टाइम आपका सबसे बड़ा एसेट नहीं है. यहाँ पे आपका सबसे बड़ा एसेट है फोकस. जो यहाँ पे 100% फोकस के साथ आया है उसको ही समझ में आएगा, या वो ही सबसे ज्यादा वैल्यू यहाँ से लेकर जाएगा. सबसे ज्यादा फोकस का मतलब क्या होता है? 100% फोकस का मतलब क्या होता है? मतलब ये होता है कि आपने बाकी डिस्ट्रैक्शंस हटा दिए, आपने अपने मोबाइल के नोटिफिकेशंस हटा दिए, आप अगर कुछ और कर रहे हैं, कहीं टीवी के पास बैठे हैं, अपने लैपटॉप पे कोई और विंडोज ओपन करके रखिए, वो सब आप हटा दें और सिर्फ नेक्स्ट 45 मिनट्स इस सेशन पे फोकस करें, तो आपका मैक्सिमम फायदा होगा. तो फर्स्ट रूल सेज बी हियर विथ 100% फोकस. किसी को कुछ और काम है, ऐसा लगता है कि ज्यादा जरूरी है, कोई इशू नहीं है, लेकिन आप वो काम 100% फोकस के साथ कीजिए. जो भी कर रहे हैं 100% फोकस के साथ कीजिए. अगर यहाँ पे है तो यहाँ रहिए और कहीं मत जाइए. रूल नंबर 2, ऑलवेज सिट विथ अ पेन एंड अ नोटपैड. One point that you write, one idea that you note down can end up changing your entire life. आप हमेशा याद रखना, the bridge between listening and implementing, I am repeating, The bridge between listening and implementing is noting things down. जितना ज्यादा आप चीजें नोट करेंगे उतना ज्यादा आप इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के क्लोज आ जाएंगे. And when I am saying कि आपको चीजें नोट करनी है, I am not forcing you to note everything down. I am just asking you to note whatever you feel is important. Whatever you feel is important, you please note it down. I'll keep on repeating कि ये important point है, ये इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, आप उसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले सकते हैं, नोट कर सकते हैं, बट जैसे ही आप नोट करते हैं आप इंप्लीमेंटेशन के एक स्टेप क्लोज आ जाते हैं. एंड दैट ब्रिंग्स मी टू द थर्ड रूल, दैट दिस सेशन इज एन इंप्लीमेंटेबल सेशन. ये कोई थ्योरी सेशन नहीं है, इसका कोई सर्टिफिकेट आपको नहीं मिलेगा. ये एक इंप्लीमेंटेबल सेशन है जो मैं आपको बताऊंगा. आप अगर उसको इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे तो आपका इमीडिएट फायदा होगा. आप सोचेंगे कि मैं सेशन कर लूं, सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा और उसको मैं इंस्टाग्राम या लिंक्डइन पे डाल दूंगा, तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. ये एक्चुअली आपकी सीखने के लिए, शो ऑफ करने के लिए नहीं है सेशन. सो दिस इज नॉट अ थियोरेटिकल सेशन, दिस इज एन इंप्लीमेंटेबल, एक्शन ओरिएंटेड सेशन. राइट. द लास्ट रूल, जब हम सेशन करेंगे तो आपके माइंड में काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. जब वो क्वेश्चंस आपके माइंड में आते हैं तो आप प्लीज उसको नोट डाउन करके रखिए अपने पास. वी विल इन्वेस्ट 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, how much time it take does not matter on answering your questions. एक बार सेशन खत्म हो जाता है, उसके बाद आपके क्वेश्चंस आंसर करेंगे. वी विल नॉट लीव एनी क्वेश्चन अनआंसर्ड. यू टेक इट फ्रॉम मी इन राइटिंग. राइट. सो दिस इज व्हाट, दीज आर द रूल्स. आई रिपीट, 100% focus, note things down. This is an implementable session, and keep the question and answers for the last. Right? If you understood what I said, please type loud and clear in the chat box. If I was loud enough and you can see me clearly, please type loud and clear in the chat box. Please type loud and clear in the chat box. Loud and clear. If you have understood what I have said, please type loud and clear in the chat box. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, before we go ahead from here, please can you all put in the chat box your category. Your category can be school student, so mention your class. College student, mention your course and year. Or if you are a graduate, mention that you are a graduate in this field. Please type class 11th or 12th, or BSc first year, BCom first year, second year, or BCom graduate, BSc graduate. Just type that so that I understand what kind of crowd is sitting here, and I'll ensure that you get more value. Okay, so we have first year BA student, we have college student third year, we have BSc honors third year, we have BTech second year, we have BTech first year. Awesome. What about others? We have ITI second year electrician, we have BSc mathematical science third year. Awesome. We have Master of Social Work first year. Awesome. That is great. Okay guys, so I understand. So most of us are college students here, and that is why I will focus, I'll give examples and I'll focus on more analogies which appeal to you and which are more understood by college students. Let's now understand why we are here. All of us want to build a great career. All of us want to have abundance in life. When I say abundance, I mean freedom to choose more, freedom to choose among options. Right? हम सबको चाहिए यार कि लाइफ में ज्यादा चीजें हमारे पास रहे, लाइफ में ज्यादा चॉइसेस हमारे पास रहे, हमारा करियर काफी सॉर्टेड रहे. नाउ करियर अच्छा सबको चाहिए, बट अच्छे करियर के लिए जो वे है, the way we choose for the right career and the fast paced career or the right career growth is something that needs to be reconsidered. If you have chosen your courses, you have, abhi chat box mein all of you mentioned BSc, BTech, social work, agriculture, etc. If all of you have selected this course basis your calling in life, then type calling. Or if you have chosen these courses on the basis of what somebody has told you or how many marks you got, then type don't know. Type calling if you have chosen these courses on the basis of your passion, or type do not know if you think it's otherwise. Type don't know or type calling. Awesome. So we have a mix of answers here. We have some don't knows here. We have some callings as well. So people who have said calling here, I would assume that you are already a step closer to identifying your passion. I'm not saying it's a guarantee that whatever you are pursuing is your passion area, but you are one step closer. People who have said, I don't know, I actually, it's a commendable task to accept that there is a problem, because the first thing that you need to learn something new is honesty. Honesty in accepting that you don't know something. And once you have accepted, you have opened the way for learning, you have opened the way for knowledge. Right? So congratulations, you have opened the gates for knowledge. Right? Now, when I was in college, it was 2012, somewhere in 2012, I used to attend a lot of inspirational sessions, motivational sessions, right? And in most of them, there were talks around passion. And the interesting thing about these sessions were, whenever I came out of this session, I was like literally charged. I was like, यार आज तो कुछ करना है, अब तो बहुत हो गया, अब life बदलनी है. But the problem with these sessions were, if I attended these sessions on, let's say, day 1, I was really charged up on day 1. I was charged up enough on day 2. Day 3, I was like, fairly charged. Day 4, I started feeling a little low. And by the time day 5 or day 6 hit in, the impact of the session was lost. Can you relate to me? Just type relate if you can relate to me with this. Just type relate if whatever I said, you can relate to it. Why did this happen with me, or why does this happen with students? Because most of the times when motivational speakers or these the guys who give like motivational talks, they always speak about what. So they are right in saying that you must identify your passion. Life is short. You must work on what you love. You must work on your life's calling. But they forget to discuss the how, because it's always difficult. How is always difficult as compared to what. And the more you speak about what, the more adrenaline rush you get. And that's why we feel charged up when people say that you have to work on your passion, you have to find your passion. But when the moment we realize we need a how, we start feeling a little low, and slowly the impact decreases. Right? So this is what we need to correct today through this session. So all of us know we don't need a motivational speaker. We don't know. हमें कोई नहीं चाहिए ये बताने के लिए that it is important to follow your passion. Because it's simple. You will sleep well, you will be happy. A happier person is a successful person. And this is science. I'm not talking anything like from the air here. It is science. A happier person, a more satisfied person is a successful person. He or she gets growth much faster. And a person, to be happy, needs to work on what he loves. What he or she loves, right? And that is why we all know, without the need of a motivational speaker, that we need to work on our passion. Now, to work on our passion, there are two major things to consider. One, to identify our passion. And once we have identified, how to pursue it. These are the two broad categories that we need to work on. So first, let's understand, and I'll share my screen here so that it's easier for you all to understand. Let's first understand what are the few myths related to career options. What are the few myths related to passion areas that we must understand. The first myth is what society tells you is not your passion. By this, what do I mean? Somebody comes out and tells me, oh my God, you're so intelligent, you should be a doctor. Oh my God, you're so good with numbers, you should be a CA. Oh my God, you're so good with machines, you should be a mechanical engineer. Anybody who randomly comes, I don't care how close they are to you, if they come to you and tell you that this you are made for this thing, please don't go for it. And if a college or a coaching institute say this to you, there is more the reason you should not go for it. Because the society tells you this just for the sake of sharing their knowledge. They know about different streams and they think you would be good here. But when a coaching institute or a college or any education institution tells you to do something, they are actually promoting something that they offer. So please don't go for it. I'm not saying you don't go for it forever, but then it is not your passion. It may turn out to be your passion ultimately, but this is not an indication that it's your passion. Right? This is the first myth that you need to understand. Right? The second assumption that you would understand is your numbers won't decide your passion. Somebody getting higher marks should go for streams like medical or engineering or IIT or JEE or CA. No. So somebody with a higher mark will be passionate about a field, a specific field, is not the right way to think. Right? Numbers have nothing to do with passion. Nothing to do with passion. Third and most critical myth here is passion or career has to be decided once and for all. All these are myths, that's why I'm writing it in the myth form. What society tells you is your passion is a myth, wrong. Your numbers decide your passion is a myth, wrong. Passion, career has to be decided once and for all. A lot of people say, a lot of students say, okay, I liked this, I thought I would be good at that, and that's why I took that course, I took BSc, I took BTech, I took mass communication, whatever. And now I feel I'm not good at it, I'm screwed. No. Passion keeps evolving. The broad fields, the broad categories might stay the same in career or in passion, but it keeps evolving. It's okay to think that if you have not selected the right field, or if you feel that your course or your program that you have, or your college that you have selected is not something you want to work on, or it's not feeling like this is your passion, it's okay. It can evolve. And there are ways to still explore. And I'll tell you the ways. So first of all, before going to understand the nits and gritties of what passion is, how to explore about that, you need to understand that these things are myths. अब मैं क्यों बता रहा हूं कि ये myths है? Because most of the time student keep overthinking on this. They'll keep on telling me, सर मेरे numbers तो इतने आए थे तो मैं ये कैसे कर लूं? सर मैंने उस समय तो ये सिलेक्ट कर लिया था, अब अगर मुझे ये अच्छा लग रहा है तो बहुत गलत बात है क्या? मैं confused हूं. Am I a loser? Please don't feel like that, because these things do not matter. Right? You can keep evolving, you can keep exploring till the time you actually find out the thing that you are good at. You can be a topper and choose a field which people think that is made for average students, totally fine. You can 10 people, 100 people can tell you should be a doctor, and you can decide to be a videographer. Does not matter. What matters is what you feel you're good at. Right? And to understand what you feel you're good at, we need to understand an amazing concept which is there in my second slide. But till now, whatever I have spoken about the myths, if it has made sense to you, please type made sense. Please type made sense in the chat box. If whatever I have discussed till now has made a little sense, please type made sense in the chat box. Did it make sense? Please type made sense in the chat box. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me now move to the concept which is like a fast catching concept. and which is kind of a Japanese concept for passion. And I'm sure a lot of you would have heard about this concept called Ikigai. Type heard if you have heard about this concept of Ikigai. Type heard if you have heard about this concept of Ikigai. Or type not heard if you have not heard. Type heard or not heard. Okay. So mix of answers. Some people have heard, some have not heard. Whichever is the case, please be really attentive. Really, really attentive. What you will be most successful in life doing. Right? क्या करते हुए आप लाइफ में सबसे ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल रह सकते हैं, या फिर क्या करते हुए आप लाइफ में सबसे ज्यादा हैप्पी, सेटिस्फाइड रह सकते हैं, depends on these four circles. Depends on these four circles. And it has to be read in this order. Number 1 circle is this. Number 2 circle is this. Number 3 is this. Number 4 is this. Please go anti-clockwise. Please be very, very, very attentive here. You can take a screenshot, you can take notes, but this is the crux of this session, right? And I'll tell you how to break this down, but always don't read it in this way. You know, there's a reverse order. You have to read it anti-clockwise. What you love, what you are good at, what can earn you money, what the world needs. Right? I repeat. What you love, what you are good at, what you can be paid for, what the world needs. And trust me, till the time you are a student, these two things matter the most. What you love, what you are good at. The moment you start getting into your final year of graduation and you start preparing for placements and jobs and startups, these two matter more. What you can be paid for, what the world needs. What you love and what you are good at. If you think about these two things, you get your passion. The commonality between these two circles is your passion. I repeat, what you love and what you are good at. What you love is everything that you like doing, that you keep pursuing irrespective of results. Where results don't matter. You enjoy the process, you enjoy the function, you enjoy the thing itself, irrespective of the result. What you are good at is something that whenever you do it, you produce good results. The outcomes are good. And when you combine these two things, when you look for commonalities between what you love and what you are good at, okay, these can be subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry, agriculture, research, any subjects, or it can also relate to activities like public speaking, presentations, experiments, scientific experiments, working with numbers. All subjects and all activities which fall in both these categories. I repeat, which fall in both these categories. जहाँ पे what you love भी tick होगा और what you are good at भी tick होगा. That is your passion here. Right? What you are good at and what you can be paid for becomes your profession, because if you are good at something and you can be paid for it, you will be really good at it. So it becomes your profession. What you can be paid for and what the world needs. Oh my God, all the startups are like working on this. All the startups are like working on this. Because they're getting paid and that they are working on something that the world needs. So that becomes your vocation. The skills that you need to develop. What you love and what the world needs becomes your mission, the impact. All the social work there comes here. What you love and what the world needs. When all these four combine, Ikigai is identified. When you work on something that you love, you're also good at that, you're also getting paid for it, and that is also something that the world needs. That becomes your Ikigai. It might take some time, but the ultimate goal has to be this. I'm not saying this is something that you need to identify today. No. It keeps evolving. It needs efforts and time. But you have to start by identifying things in these two circles, right? You have to start by identifying things in these two circles. And that is what I will explain here. So we are not discussing Ikigai today. We are discussing passion. But ultimate goal has to be Ikigai. You need to understand this, right? Now, when we say that we need to identify passion, that is the area between these two circles, we need to first identify all activities, all subjects. Suppose you start identifying subjects as maths, physics, let's say clinical research, or let's say data mining. You need to identify activities like presentations, or let's say public speaking, analytics. Just for example, right? Now, this list can go up to 10 or 20 or whatever. Now, if I write in front of maths, is it something that I love? I'll write L here. Is it also something that I am good at? I will write good here. You can just give an example. You can use any words or any letters. Physics, okay, I love physics. I'm not that good. Clinical research, I don't love it, but I'm good at that. Data mining, okay, I love it. I'm good at that as well. Presentation, I love, but not that good. Public speaking, I'm good at, but I don't love it. Analytics, let's say I'm good. I love it. I am good at that as well. So now you have got a category which says maths, which says data mining, which says analytics. You have got 3 indications of where your passion might lie: mathematics, data mining, analytics. And now you need nothing but Google and YouTube. Nothing else. If I am good in maths, data mining, and analytics, what are the careers I can explore? And you can just watch. It could be business analytics, it could be market research, it could be data science, and whatnot. So I just gave an example. You can do it with all your subjects, you can do it with all your activities. That is the process of actually identifying your passion. That is the process. Now let's say कि इसको करने के बाद भी, ये activity करने के बाद भी, whether it is any field or any activity, you still have a cluster. You still have like 5 different options that come out. Let's say कि आपने ये activity की और आपको समझ में आया, okay, you can go for public policy, you can go for social work, you can also go for political science, you can also go for civil service. Now what? अगर अभी भी 4-5 options आ रहे हैं, then what? Do you want to know how to explore if there is still a confusion? Okay, अभी तक जो मैंने बताया है, whatever I have told you till now, if it has lighten up something in your mind, please type bulb on in the chat box. Please type bulb on. If something here has lightened up, please type bulb on in the chat box. Can you type bulb on in the chat box? Okay. If you want to know that if there are 5-6 options in front of you, how would you actually start finding out which one is the best? Type bring it on. Type bring it on in the chat box. Can you type bring it on in the chat box? Okay. So now I'll be telling you how to explore your passion. Let's say you have got 5-6 categories which you think that you would be good at. It could be anything. The best ways, I'll tell you the best way. How was my journey placed? I was totally into management education. Post my schooling, I went for 5 years of management education, 3 years of BBA, 2 years of MBA from IMT Ghaziabad. And then post that, my majors in MBA was marketing, and I was placed in a leading FMCG company at a decent package, and my profile was mainly branding and communications, right? In 2012, this was 2012, I started working for that company. That job gave me like a lot of financial security, plus also some extra money to explore the other passion areas that I have. I started exploring my passion areas. I actually wrote down the subjects, I actually wrote down the activities that I did, and I realized that I somehow am good with, teaching. I loved when I was with students. I loved when I was able to explain to students complex topics in simplified forms, right? I loved that particular experience. I discussed it with a lot of colleagues of mine, and they were kind of laughing that you will leave a corporate career in branding and communication so that you want to become a teacher. I also thought this is something which may be weird, but the urge of going for something that you actually love is so high when you start exploring. I didn't leave my job at all. I was good at it. Somehow I was not in love with it. So it was filling the second circle, but not the first circle. I said I'll keep exploring. I started exploring, I started going to different institutes during weekends. I started taking classes. First, I started doing subject classes. Then I started, guiding students on their careers. And since my career growth was pretty fast, I knew a few things that students could do so that their career growth could also be fast after college. In fact, after school, like what course to choose, how to behave in college, what activities to pursue in college, so that their growth is really fast in college and after college. I started guiding students from that. And sooner than I could realize, I had enough traction from students and I had enough confidence in me that I was able to leave my job somewhere around 2016, and I started working on career coaching full-time. And now I can't even imagine myself working on anything else apart from career coaching. This is something that I like. This is something that I'm good at. The money part has been great, of course, but that's what I said. It has to go through the circle. If you start thinking about what the world needs and how much you would be getting paid on this, आप भटक जाओगे. Because there are so many fancy things going around here and there. So many fancy things. And trust me, if you could find something that you like doing and you are good at as well, you would end up earning a lot of money. You would end up finding something that the world needs as well. Because the world needs a lot of things. But if you think the other way around and you start putting your mind on what the world needs and how much money you will get for it, it won't work. Trust me, it won't work. And that is why passion becomes so important. And what I found was the only reason that I could actually get an opportunity to explore my passion and also the time is because of three main things. Number one, I went for financial security first. I went for financial security first. Very important. In order to get that time and flexibility and the opportunity to explore your passion, you need to go get your financial security first. It would be silly to leave everything else and go on a road of identifying your passion, because whether you like it or not, 99.99% people in this world would be disturbed if they are not financially secure. I have found people who don't care about finances and who just go on identifying their passion, take their time, live on like very minimum basic necessities. There are people like that. I'll just say that they're lucky. Because all of our mind, the human mind is actually conditioned. Hamara mind trained hai to ensure the basic necessities first. बाकी सब बाद में पहले basic necessities fulfill करो. For that, you need financial security. So whatever you are doing, wherever you are doing it, use that to get a financial security. Second, do not settle for financial security. Do not settle for financial security. So you have to go for financial security, but the moment you get financial security, let's say you get a job, you start working, and the job gives you just enough money so that you are sorted, and you settle down for that. What do I mean by settling down for it? I mean that you use the extra time that you have, you use the Saturdays and Sundays, you use the after office hours to go out with your friends, to party, for Netflix, for everything else that is not helping you explore your passion. Then you are settling down for financial security, and you would find yourself in a troubled position after a few years. Because you would realize that this is not something you love. And then your mind will play tricks. So do not settle for financial security. You go for it first, but once you have it, you use the extra time, extra money to explore. How do you explore it? You do internships. You do freelance projects. You work on startups with your friends, or you just explore upskilling. What you got for financial security, you got that because you already are skilled on something, right? But to explore your passion, you might be required. For career coaching, I had to go on for a few training sessions, few training programs on career mapping, career development, right? I had to go for upskilling. So I invested some money on that part. I invested some money on building my resume, building my profile, building my LinkedIn. I invested some money and time on understanding or learning how does career mapping works. So I kept on moving. I didn't let myself settle just for that job. And that is what gave me an opportunity to find, okay, this is something I love. And now I have to work on this. Right? This is the way you explore your passion. And you don't settle down till the time you find that thing. And trust me, even if it takes 10 years or 5 years or 1 year or 1 month, the journey would be worth it. You will feel fulfilled, you will feel satisfied, you will feel content, you will feel happy. Because you're not like others who are just in the rat race of running after, your job every day and then spending the amount that you got for just fancy luxuries and what everybody else is doing. You are investing your time and money on something that you love, something you're good at, right? So this is the way you should plan your college life, the 4 years that you have, plus the next 4 years after college. You get a financial security. Earlier the start, it would be better, because if you're in the first year of your college and you use the next 4 years for identifying your passion, you identify your passion and you are getting paid for it, awesome. Just give me a minute. Really sorry, there was some error with the network connection. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So this is the way you need to follow in your college, in your corporate life, in the initial years, till the time you actually find out what you love. Is this a bulb on movement? Please type bulb on in the chat box if this was a bulb on movement. Can you type bulb on in the chat box? Type bulb on in the chat box if this was a bulb on movement. Great. Okay, so this brings me to the final section of today's session, which is nothing but question and answers. Okay guys, whatever you want to ask, whichever way, there are two ways you can ask. One, you can put your question on the chat box, I will answer. Second, you can raise your hand, I'll ask you to unmute, and then you can ask. Let's go. Questions, guys. Yes, Priya, you can unmute and ask, please.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
गुड आफ्टरनून
सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसे आप बोल रहे हो कि पैशन को आइडेंटिफाई करें, ठीक है. जैसे मैं अभी बीएससी थर्ड ईयर एग्रीकल्चर में पढ़ रही हूँ सर. वो होता है कि पैशन मतलब हमारा होता है कुछ ऐसी लाइन के साथ, जैसे मुझे ऐसे मॉडलिंग और ये सब करना पसंद है. उसके साथ साथ अपने मतलब फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन फैमिली की भी देखनी पड़ती है. जैसे मैं अपने घर की सबसे बड़ी लड़की हूँ, ठीक है. अभी मैं पढ़ाई कर रही हूँ तो पूरी फैमिली मुझ पे डिपेंड करती है, क्योंकि मेरे फादर ने उतने फाइनेंशियली मतलब उतना वो नहीं है कि फ्यूचर में वो मेरे को इतना सपोर्ट कर सके सर. तो वो होता है कि पैशन को उस टाइम फॉलो करे या करियर को फॉलो करे जिससे फैमिली को हेल्पफुल रहे हम.
सो प्रिया, गुड क्वेश्चन, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन. मैंने आपसे बोला कि पैशन की जर्नी पे आप आगे बढ़ ही तभी सकते हो जब आपने पहला स्टेप कंप्लीट किया हो, विच इज गेटिंग अ फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी. राइट नाउ, फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी के भी अलग अलग लेयर्स होते हैं. राइट, यू नीड टू गेट योर फाइनेंसेस सॉर्टेड. इसका मतलब है कि आपको अपनी लाइफ की बेसिक नेसेसिटीज फुलफिल करने के लिए, प्लस जो लोग आप पे डिपेंडेंट हैं उनकी बेसिक नेसेसिटीज फुलफिल करने के लिए जिस अमाउंट की जरूरत है उतने के लिए आपको फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी चाहिए. एंड आई एम श्योर आप बीएससी इन एग्रीकल्चर कर रहे हैं, आप गवर्नमेंट जॉब टारगेट कर रहे होंगे. आई एम श्योर आप की एक अच्छी जॉब लगेगी आपके कॉलेज के बाद, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू टेक केयर ऑफ दैट. बट बहुत सारे लोग कहाँ फंस जाते हैं, मैं आपको बताता हूँ जिस चीज का आपको ध्यान रखना है. जब हमारे डिपेंडेंस को हम बेसिक नेसेसिटीज प्रोवाइड करते हैं, हम अपने आप को बेसिक नेसेसिटीज प्रोवाइड करते हैं, तब हमारे पास काफी टाइम और हमारी इनकम की सेविंग भी होती है. बट बहुत सारे लोग जब अपनी इनकम बढ़ाते हैं, जैसे अभी आप कॉलेज में हो, शायद आपकी उतनी इनकम नहीं होगी जो आप मॉडलिंग वगैरह कर रहे हैं या साइड में जो आप इनकम जनरेट कर रहे हैं वो शायद आपकी इनकम होगी. बट जो आप जब जॉब करना चालू करेंगे तो आपकी इनकम का लेवल बढ़ेगा. बहुत सारे लोग जब अपनी इनकम का लेवल बढ़ाते हैं तो अपने एक्सपेंसेस का लेवल भी अकॉर्डिंगली बढ़ा देते हैं, क्योंकि वो उस लाइफस्टाइल को मेंटेन करने पे फोकस करना चालू कर देते हैं जो बाकी लोग उनकी नजर में मेंटेन करते हैं जिनके पास ज्यादा इनकम. आप अगर सिर्फ इस चीज से बचा लेते हो अपने आप सिर्फ जब आपकी इनकम लेवल बढ़ती है तो आप अपने खुद के और अपने डिपेंडेंट्स की सिर्फ नीड्स का ध्यान रखते हो और वांट्स का ध्यान नहीं रखते. नीड्स और वांट्स में आप डिफरेंट समझते हो ना. नीड जो आपको चाहिए, जो मिनिमम बेसिक है. वांट्स जो बढ़ती जाती है जैसे जैसे आपकी इनकम बढ़ेगी. The moment you get a job, the moment you get financial security, आप अपनी नीड्स को लिमिटेड ही रखते हो, अपनी खुद की और अपने डिपेंडेंट्स की. बिकॉज देखो, जो हमारी खुद की भी नीड्स बढ़ती है और इसलिए हमारे डिपेंडेंट्स की भी नीड्स बढ़ती है. जहां आपकी इनकम बढ़ेगी आपका मन करेगा मैं इनको ये गिफ्ट दे दूं, मैं इनके लिए ये कर दूं. नहीं, आप मिनिमम बेसिक नेसेसिटीज पूरी करो जिस चीज की जरूरत है, और बाकी का जो आपका टाइम है और जो आपकी सेविंग्स है वो अपना पैशन एक्सप्लोर करने पे फोकस करो. ट्रस्ट मी, थोड़ा टाइम लग सकता है, बट द मोमेंट आपका पैशन आपको पता चल गया और आपने उस पर वर्क करना चालू कर दिया, यू विल गेट इनफ मनी एंड टाइम टू डू व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू हेल्प हूएवर यू वांट. इज दैट फाइन प्रिया? प्रिया, आपका क्या मैं आंसर कर पाया हूं आपका क्वेश्चन? ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट, ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर एस्पिरेशंस. Okay, I think we have one more question in the chat box. I have my passion to become cybersecurity expert, but due to financial status, I have not been able to pursue. Shall I take a job and save money and after pursue my passion? Okay. This question has come from Suraj Sarkar. Suraj, काफी interesting question and thank you for asking this. And I have a very close example because one of my students who works in marketing and sales also said to me that his passion is cyber security. In the last 1 year, he has learned cyber security and he is an ethical hacker. And do you want to know how much amount he has invested? Less than 5,000 rupees. Less than 5,000 rupees, and he has learned cyber security. He has already started taking projects and he's slowly moving from marketing and sales to becoming an ethical hacker. Trust me, for any field today, कुछ भी लर्न करने के लिए, कुछ भी नया सीखने के लिए आपको पैसे से ज्यादा इंटेंट की जरूरत है, सही एटीट्यूड की, सही वेस की. मोस्ट ऑफ सारी स्किल्स ऑलमोस्ट आज के टाइम में आप फ्री में सीख सकते हैं यूट्यूब से. आपको अगर थोड़ा और ज्यादा सीखना है डेप्थ में तो यूडमी, कोर्सेरा, अपग्रेड, ये लोग 1,000 रुपीज, 500 रुपीज, 1,500 में अच्छे कोर्सेज दे रहे हैं. यू कैन एक्सप्लोर दैट, बट यू नीड टू हैव द इंटेंट. अगर आप सर्टिफिकेट के लिए कोर्स करोगे तो 1 लाख रुपए का भी कर सकते हो और आप कुछ भी नहीं सीखोगे. आप एक्चुअली सीखने के लिए करोगे तो आप फ्री में भी यूट्यूब से सीख के अप्लाई कर सकते हो. सो ट्रस्ट मी, पैसा मैटर नहीं है. हाँ, टाइम आपको निकालना पड़ेगा, इंटेंट आपको निकालना पड़ेगा. ओके सूरज, was I able to answer your question? वेलकम. कुछ नहीं यार, यूट्यूब से सीखो. और ज्यादा डीप में जाना है, यूडमी से, कोर्सेरा से सीखो एंड इंप्लीमेंट करो. यूज योर वीकेंड्स. साइकोलॉजिकल ऑक्यूपेंसी से बचो. दिमाग में इस फीलिंग से कि हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है, हम बहुत सारे काम कर रहे हैं, कॉलेज अटेंड कर रहे हैं, तो नया कैसे सीखें. प्लीज यार, लोग, मैं ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स को जानता हूं, मैंने खुद किया है, कॉलेज अटेंड किया है, जब जॉब लगी तब जॉब की है, वीकेंड्स में नई चीजें सीखी है, उसको अप्लाई किया है. मंडे टू फ्राइडे ऑफिस टाइमिंग के बाद का जो टाइम है उसमें नई चीजें की है, अभी भी कर रहा हूं. प्लीज, इफ यू लव समथिंग यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट द टाइम फॉर इट, यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट द रीजन फॉर इट. राइट? परफेक्ट. Jaspreet asked, sir, I am doing BTech, but I realize my interest in social activities. I want to become an IPS. How can I get my goal? Awesome, Jaspreet. Nothing. You just first talk to a few IPS officers, talk to a few people who work in this field. सोचना, दूर से देखना और एक्चुअली चीजों को करना is different. Social service is a broad field. बहुत सारी चीजें आती है सोशल वर्क में. NGOs आते हैं, सिविल सर्विसेज आता है, वर्किंग फॉर दीज एजेंसीज आते हैं, बट एक्चुअली परस्यूइंग दिस इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. सो फर्स्ट यू स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग. इट्स गुड दैट यू आर इन बीटेक, यू आर स्टिल इन कॉलेज. कीप टॉकिंग टू डिफरेंट पीपल. इंटर्न विद एन एनजीओ. डू अ प्रोजेक्ट विद अ पब्लिक पॉलिसी एजेंसी. डू अ प्रोजेक्ट विद अ सोशल सर्विस एजेंसी एंड ट्राई टू थिंक कि सिर्फ आपको दूर से देख के अच्छा लग रहा है कि आपको एक्चुअली भी मजा आता है. अगर आपको एक्चुअली भी मजा आता है, enroll for your coaching for UPSC so that you can become an IPS. Please do that. Right, Jaspreet? But explore first. Do an internship. You are a student. There is nothing to lose. You have time. Do an internship with them. Do a project with them. There are a lot of projects that the police departments come out with for students. Try and help them. Awesome. Any more questions? Any more questions? Perfect then. Okay guys, whoever is here, I just need your feedback in one word. You can either write great if you thought the session was great. You can write good if you think the session was good. You can write average or you can write bad. Great, good, average or bad. Just write great, good, average or bad. Any feedback is fine. You can be please really honest and open. Thank you so much. Thank you so much everybody. Thank you so much. Ravi, thank you for the honest feedback. If you think we can improve somewhere, if you think कि कुछ और भी चीजें थी जो हमें इंक्लूड करनी चाहिए थी, please you can mention in the chat box, because these are weekly sessions. We'll do it every Sunday with a new theme related to your career growth. तो अगले संडे एक नई थीम आएगी. So if you can give me feedback on what else you want to include, we will include that. So Ravi, आप बता सकते हैं anything that you want us to include. Okay, so Shantanu, we know what we have to do and not, but still we go the wrong way. Whether in choosing career, wrong career path. What should we do at the time to protect ourselves from going the wrong path? Agreed, Shantanu. होता है. Why does this happen? Because of the external influence. Because of the external influence. Nothing. What you need to do is simple. You need to just believe in yourself, believe in the process. Okay? बाहर के लोग जब आपको बोलते हैं, बहुत बार ऐसा हुआ है जब स्टूडेंट्स मेरे पास आते हैं काउंसलिंग के लिए और बोलते हैं कि सर सबसे मुश्किल चीज है हमारे पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस करना. हाउ डू आई कन्विंस माय पेरेंट दैट आई डोंट वांट टू वर्क इन दिस फील्ड, आई वांट टू गो फॉर दिस फील्ड. I don't want to go for A, I want to go for B. How do I convince my parents? Trust me, convincing parents or convincing anybody else is simply based on how confident you are. If you are confident enough, if you are clear enough that this is something you have to do, और वो क्लैरिटी कैसे आती है? वो क्लैरिटी रिसर्च से आती है. क्लैरिटी इज बेस्ड ऑन कॉन्फिडेंस, कॉन्फिडेंस इज बेस्ड ऑन रिसर्च. जो चीजें आप करना चाहते हो शांतनु, जो आप बोल रहे हो ना वी नो व्हाट टू डू, तो जो आप करना चाहते हो, जो आपको पता है कि आपको करना चाहिए, उसके बारे में रिसर्च करो. मैक्सिमम टाइम अपने दिन का उन्हीं चीजों के साथ स्पेंड करो, उन्हीं चीजों के बारे में रिसर्च करेंगे. अगर आप मैक्सिमम टाइम, सबको पता है दुनिया में उनको क्या करना है यार, बट वो क्या होता है कि पता कर लेते हैं कि हमें क्या करना है, अच्छा यार ये करना है, और फिर नेटफ्लिक्स देखने बैठ जाते हैं, फिर इंस्टाग्राम पे रील्स चलाने बैठ जाते हैं. जो आपको करना है अगर आपको पता चल गया है तो ट्राई एंड इन्वेस्ट मैक्सिमम टाइम अराउंड दैट. इंस्टाग्राम में, यूट्यूब में, व्हाटएवर सराउंडिंग्स में ऐसे लोगों के साथ ऐसे वीडियोस, ऐसी चीजें जो आपको जो करना है उससे रिलेटेड है, उसके साथ ज्यादा से ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड करो. आपको नॉलेज आएगी, आपकी नॉलेज बढ़ेगी, आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा. एंड द मोमेंट आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ता है, यू विल प्रोटेक्ट योरसेल्फ फ्रॉम गोइंग इन द रॉन्ग पाथ. आपकी सराउंडिंग्स आपके थॉट्स को ड्राइव करती है और आपका थॉट्स आपके एक्शन ड्राइव करता है. अगर आपकी सराउंडिंग्स गलत है, सराउंडिंग से मेरा मतलब सिर्फ लोग नहीं है, क्या किन लोगों के साथ आप हैंग आउट कर रहे हो, क्या चीजें आप देख रहे हो, क्या चीजें आप परस्यू कर रहे हो, ये सारी आपकी सराउंडिंग्स. सराउंडिंग सही रहेगी, थॉट सही रहेंगे, थॉट सही रहेगा, एक्शन सही रहेगा. आई होप शांतनु आई हैव आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन. ग्रेट. ओके, आई थिंक शांतनु एंड साई बोथ है. ओके, परफेक्ट. थैंक यू शांतनु. Ravi, okay, you tell the method but you don't tell how. Okay, so Ravi, I'll tell you. I told you go for internships, I told you go for freelancing projects, I told you go for upskilling, but I didn't tell how. This is what you mean? Right, Ravi? Can you unmute? I would really like you to unmute and tell me, okay, this is what you meant, right? The next session that we would be having on Sunday will exactly be on how to get internships on what you like, how to get freelancing projects to explore your passion. The exact session next Sunday will be, next Sunday हम ये assume करेंगे कि आप लोगों को पता चल गया है कि आपकी इंटरेस्ट की फील्ड कौन सी, आपके पैशन की फील्ड्स कौन सी हो सकती है. अब उसको एक्सप्लोर करने के लिए जो इंटर्नशिप्स चाहिए, जो अपस्किलिंग चाहिए, जो फ्रीलांसिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स चाहिए, वो कैसे मिलेंगे, that will be our next session on Sunday. The exact how on that. Are you getting my point, Ravi? So will you be attending that session? Can you unmute and say? Can you unmute and say that this is what you are looking for?
Yes, sir. This was right. I was looking for, and I will surely attend the next session. And I am attending your session from previous sessions.
Perfect. So I understand your feedback, and the only constraint that we cannot discuss this is time. because it's a 1 hour session. But we'll be exactly discussing this in the next session, that is next Sunday. So I'll see you next Sunday exactly at 12. Okay?
Okay, sir. Bye.
Okay. All the best, Ravi. All the best, everybody else. It was a great session, and I'll see you again next Sunday at 12. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring. All the best.